Hello and welcome to Drone Film Guide, the channel where we learn to fly like filmmakers. My name is Stewart. Now we're back in front of the green screen today because Alina and I were in Iceland. If you're not familiar with Iceland, it is an extraordinary place. It's like the north of Scotland on steroids. Anyway, the purpose of this video is not to show off our Iceland footage. Well, okay, the purpose of this video is slightly to show off our Iceland footage, but we want you to understand that when you watch these kind of clips, not everything is always as it seems. In filmmaking, we're creating an illusion. So when you watch someone's Thailand drone showreel or something like that, you might think, oh, that's not fair. That's all well and good if I'm in the middle of Thailand and I can get amazing shots. Anyway, you'll see in these Iceland shots with some of the behind the scenes stuff that we're working with constraints. There are roads there, there are buildings there that we don't want in the shot. So we have to try and create an illusion, we have to try and film smart, try and create the angles, maybe block things out, getting closer, get further away, etc, etc. So hopefully by watching this video it's an entertaining romp around Iceland, but you also get Iceland, I should say, but you also get something out of it, and you see that you too can create this kind of footage with constrained circumstances. Hello, Stewart Carroll from Drone Film Guide, unexpectedly coming to you from Iceland. It was meant to be absolutely chucking it down today with rain. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, got up, looked out the window, it was dry, flew out here, grabbed the drone. In my haste, I only brought my iPhone, which only has 25% battery on it, so I'm going to be under a bit of pressure to get these shots done. Let me pick up the camera and show you what's around and show you what we have to deal with here. It looks like we're in the middle of nowhere, which we are, but there's a few things we still need to consider to get some really cool shots. Let me show you. You can see it in the background, that is incredibly atmospheric. Got some mountains there. Just a little note, we have a flagpole here. There's always something you can crash into even when you're in the middle of nowhere, and the flagpole's a good start. Now, as you can also see in the distance there, we also have some buildings that we need to consider. Let me see if they're in focus. No, that's the mountains in focus. Anyway, you can see there's a hotel back there, so we're not completely isolated. There's some other buildings over there that we might not want in the shot, depending on what kind of look we're going for. Let's have a look around. Pretty clear over here, just beaches, mountains, water. Got a graveyard here. Not a huge amount going on over here. Got a volcano over here. Pretty awesome. The first thing I thought when I got here was I didn't really want too much of this car park, so we'll see how we take care of that, because we don't really want a big grey lump of tarmac in the shot. What else do we need to consider? What about the sunlight? There's no sun, or there's no direct sun as such. Where is the sun? I'm not sure. Where is the sun? Doesn't really matter at the moment because there's nothing hitting the building, so we're not going to have too many blown out skies to deal with, and we should be able to get a decent balanced exposure on this building. Okay, let's get cracking and see what we get. If you've seen our other videos, you know we don't like to lay all our cards on the table in the first shot, so there we go, we'll reveal the church. This one, what we're doing here, we're creating some interest in the shot with an arcing motion, revealing some more of the background, creating some drama on this stationary object. Here we're going from showing the church in the foreground to revealing the background. Again, another kind of storytelling shot. Vertigo effect. If you haven't seen the tutorial on this, check it out, link in the description. Cool effect. And in this one, I like the symmetry here. This came about accidentally, so I did it again deliberately. It just creates this sense of how we're coming down here. You can really see someone walk into the church. I found it quite an engaging storytelling shot. Okay, that was awesome. So lucky. Tourists have just started to arrive. It's about 7:30, 7:45 now. There's people going up there, there's people down here walking around. Even if they hadn't got as far as the church, they could have still been in the shots, pulling their cars up, all that kind of stuff. Really pleased. No rain. I've got the phone on to charge here in the car to try and get some extra power. Gonna hit the road again on the way back to the hotel, get some breakfast, see if we can get some shots on the way. Snow-covered volcano. Of course we're going to film it. Not even had a shower yet. There's mist on the bay over there. The sun is kind of up there. It's not even poking through, but who cares? It's not raining. Let's get the drone up. In huge expansive landscapes like this, it can be quite tricky to create some interest or suspense or some depth in the shot, so we just went for a good old-fashioned tilt reveal here. This is basically the same shot, but we've zoomed in 2 times to get a little bit closer to the volcano. Problem with these big wide lenses is things that look quite close to you with your eyes can look miles away on the drone, and that really is miles away, so cropping in can help. Quick tip, and I know it might sound super obvious, but always double check that you're recording when you send the thing in the air. Didn't do it there, I managed to press record. Didn't do it there, I managed to press record. but almost didn't press record. I was like, oh man, if I pressed record. The number of times that we've had the thing up in air, hello, and get it down and find out that we didn't press record, it's just absolutely maddening. So yeah, in the heat of the moment, it's easy to forget. Always press record. Top tip. Going to jam in one more shoot before breakfast. Now remember, we're storytellers. The world's getting a little bit too used to drone shots, so we have to try and tell something a little bit more interesting with our imagery. The couple in this instance, they're from the UK, certainly live in the UK and have travelled all the way to Iceland to get married, so they want to tell the story of their journey, and they mention themselves the idea of travelling and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of cool long roads here cutting through the landscape, and over there there's some really nice green moss on the volcanic rock that makes up this island. So let's see if we can get some cool shots of the road, maybe point the camera down, maybe bring it in at a low angle. The light's kind of coming in at a bit of an angle, creating some shadows, some depth in the image. Let's give it a go. Another expansive landscape shot with little to shoot behind, so we just did a nice rising motion here. Keeps the shot interesting. Here we're tilting down, it draws the eyes to the ground, and the road, you see a cargo past. It's a pretty cool storytelling shot. Like this one a lot. Very quickly, that's us back here at 11 o'clock now, and it has turned into a camper van car park. We're going to have to get rid of some of those. I'll show you. Day 2 filming in Iceland. This time Alina is with me because it's not too early in the morning. I'm standing very close because your microphone is here and we only have one with us. So we had to stop by this
amazing spot.
Geyser, steamy, landscapey spot that we saw from the motorway up there. And we'll see how we get on with the phantom. Sun is up there in the sky, so we've got it in the right place for us. We like to have the sun illuminating the subject, in this case the landscape.
Oh, we're going to use the sports mode.
We'll give the sports mode a go, because when we speed up the footage, sometimes on these big long landscape shots, you speed it up and it all just looks a little bit jaggy, a little bit artificial. So we'll try the sports mode. There's not really much to shoot behind. If you see some of our other films, we like to create layers and depth in the shot. There's not really any trees or anything or any buildings to shoot behind, so we'll see if we can create some interest in here with some camera movement, maybe some reveals, some tilt reveals, that kind of thing.
We'll see if there's anything nice pointing down, because sometimes you tend to look out into the landscape as opposed to looking down, so we'll try that as well.
Cool. Let's do it. So here we have another big expansive landscape shot, but long shots can be boring, so you speed up the middle there, it creates a nice kind of sense of editing technique, great for music videos, promotional videos, whatever it is you happen to be doing. Look at the shadows here, look at the depth that creates. We're really turning this two-dimensional representation on our screen here into a three-dimensional image. Shadows and sunlight are so important. On this final shot, we've got a little bit less sunlight in the foreground here. We see the steam coming out of this volcanic island, and in the background we've got some sunlight, so we've still got some nice depth going on there. It's quite an interesting shot. Well, this is kind of cool. Waterfall in the background, some nice light on the top of the hills there, all the rocks, looking pretty awesome. Some buildings over there we're going to want to keep out of the shot. There's a road here that you'll have just heard that we want to keep out of the shot. But beyond that, nothing too much to concern us, so let's get the drone up. So all that lovely sunlight that was kissing the hills there in the previous shot disappeared when we got the drone in the air. So we had to work quite hard here in post-production to create some depth and interest in the colours. Still a great shot. I mean, look at that landscape, it's amazing. But if we'd had the shadows created and the rich colours created by the sunlight, it would have been so much better. Nice big tilt reveal here, some birds flying by. We're looking at the waterfall, but again, what a pity that we lost the sunlight here. Still a cool shot. Good old-fashioned vertigo effect. Again, link in the description if you still don't know how to do that. Check out our tutorial. And here we're just flying back, revealing the landscape. So as I was saying in the introduction, of course it helps if you have something beautiful to film in Iceland. We were just spoilt for choice when it came to filming beautiful vistas and landscapes. It really was easier than other situations, so I'm not going to pretend otherwise. That being said, we do still find ourselves having to film smart and plan our shots, and experience becomes a factor. And one of the good things about this game with the drones, as much as they fly themselves and all that kind of stuff, you can't replace experience or a good eye or an understanding of composition or some kind of sense of storytelling. So there's a reward to be had if you're willing to put in a little bit of work to improve yourself as a drone pilot and a filmmaker. Anyway, let us know how you got on with that. As always, more content to come from Drone Film Guide, and we'll see you next time.